Welcome everyone. Today we are unlocking the secrets of a truly legendary piece of American history, the top 3 Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it may look like just a simple old 1-cent coin, but don't be fooled. This tiny copper treasure carries decades of history, mystery, and collector excitement inside it. Featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, this coin is more than money. It's a time capsule from a powerful era of change in the United States. Stay with us, because in this video we are going to reveal its hidden value, mint secrets, and why collectors around the world are still chasing this penny today. You might be holding one right now without even knowing its true worth. Let's get started. First up in the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a small copper coin that carries a massive story within its design, symbolism, and historical background. At first glance, it may look like just another old penny, but for collectors and coin enthusiasts, it represents an era of pre-World War II America, where every coin in circulation reflected both artistry and national pride. This coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, honoring one of the most respected presidents in United States history. As we explore its origins, design, and collector value, you will understand why even a humble 1-cent coin from 1939 continues to capture attention across generations. The 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 and continued until 1958 when the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. By 1939, the United States was slowly recovering from the Great Depression, and coin production reflected a stable but cautious economy. This penny was minted in large numbers, primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, making it relatively common in circulated condition. However, what makes it special today is not rarity alone, but its historical context and the way it represents a transitional period in American history. Collectors often appreciate how this coin connects them directly to the late 1930s, a time when the world was on the brink of major global change. On the obverse side of the coin, the detailed engraving of Abraham Lincoln remains one of the most recognizable designs in American currency. The word Liberty is placed to the left of Lincoln's portrait, while the date 1939 appears on the right, clearly marking its year of issue. Above Lincoln's head is the motto, "In God We Trust," which adds a layer of national identity and tradition. The artistry behind this design was created by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VB appear on earlier versions of the penny, though by 1939, these initials were not prominently featured. The craftsmanship of the coin reflects a level of detail that still impresses collectors today, especially considering it was struck with relatively simple minting technology compared to modern standards. Turning to the reverse side, the coin displays the classic wheat ears design, which gives the Lincoln Wheat Penny its popular nickname. 2 stalks of wheat frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing agricultural strength and national prosperity. Above the denomination, the phrase E pluribus unum proudly represents the unity of the states. This design remained in use for nearly 50 years, making it one of the longest-running reverse designs in U.S. coin history. The simplicity of the wheat ears combined with strong symbolism makes the coin visually appealing and historically meaningful, especially for collectors who value classic American coinage. The 1939 Wheat Penny is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a rich reddish-brown appearance when well preserved. Over time, many of these coins have developed darker tones due to oxidation and circulation wear, which actually adds character and historical depth. Because millions were minted, most circulated examples are still affordable and easy to find, but uncirculated versions with original mint luster are significantly more desirable. Coin grading plays a major role in determining value, with higher-grade examples commanding greater interest among collectors who seek sharp details and minimal wear. From a collector's perspective, the value of a 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny largely depends on its mint mark, condition, and any unique minting errors. Philadelphia minted coins without a mint mark are the most common, while Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, versions can be slightly more desirable in higher grades. While most circulated examples are worth only a few cents to a few dollars, uncirculated or professionally graded specimens can reach higher prices depending on quality. Error coins, such as off-center strikes or doubled dies, can significantly increase value and attract specialized collectors who hunt for rare minting variations. The 1939 penny is the strong collector demand it still enjoys today, despite its availability. Many collectors seek it as part of completing a full Lincoln Wheat Penny set, which spans from 1909 to 1958. This makes the 1939 issue a key mid-series coin that helps bridge early and late production years. The nostalgia associated with Wheat Pennies also plays a huge role in their popularity, as many people remember finding them in circulation during their childhood or hearing stories from older generations about saving copper coins. Another important factor influencing its appeal is its historical preservation value. Even though it is not considered a rare date, it represents a time when American coinage was transitioning toward modernization while still maintaining traditional designs. Collectors appreciate how coins like this serve as physical artifacts of economic history, offering a tangible connection to the past. Holding a 1939 penny allows one to imagine the countless hands it passed through during an era of significant global uncertainty and domestic change. The 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains a beloved piece of American numismatics, not because of extreme rarity, but because of its historical significance, iconic design, and enduring collector interest. Featuring the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln and the classic wheat ears reverse, it continues to represent a golden age of U.S. coin design. Whether found in old collections, inherited from family, or discovered in circulation, this humble 1-cent coin continues to tell a powerful story nearly a century after it was minted. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, it is far more than just a penny. It is a small but meaningful piece of American heritage, that the 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny. It is important to understand how this coin fits into the broader evolution of American coin collecting and everyday circulation during the early 20th century. By 1939, the wheat penny had already been in production for 3 decades, meaning it had become a familiar sight in the pockets and purses of millions of Americans. This widespread circulation is exactly why so many of these coins still exist today, but it is also why finding one in truly pristine condition is much more difficult. While most examples show signs of wear from decades of handling, each coin still carries the same historical fingerprint of the era in which it was minted, making even common specimens meaningful to collectors who appreciate the story behind the metal rather than just its monetary value. The 1939 penny is the role of mint marks in shaping collector interest. Coins struck in Philadelphia typically carry no mint mark, while Denver and San Francisco issues are marked with a small D, or S, under the date on the obverse side. These tiny letters might seem insignificant, but in the world of numismatics, they can completely change a coin's desirability. For example, a well-preserved 1939 S penny is often considered slightly more appealing than its Philadelphia counterpart due to lower mintage numbers. Collectors often build entire sets that include all mint varieties, and the 1939 issue becomes an important puzzle piece in completing a full Lincoln Wheat Penny collection spanning nearly 5 decades of American minting history. The condition of a 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny plays one of the most critical roles in determining its market value today. Coins are typically graded on a scale ranging from heavily worn circulated pieces to flawless mint state examples that appear almost untouched since the day they were struck. A heavily circulated penny may only show faint details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat ears, while an uncirculated specimen retains sharp detail, original luster, and a reddish copper glow that collectors highly prize. Professional grading services often evaluate these coins under magnification, looking for strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. The difference between a low-grade and high-grade example can sometimes mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth several dozen dollars or more. The 1939 penny adds another layer of depth to its appeal. This was a time when the world was on the edge of major transformation, with global tensions rising and the United States still recovering from economic hardship. Every coin minted during this period passed through countless hands in everyday life, used in small purchases, saved in jars, or exchanged during simple transactions that kept the economy moving. Holding a coin from this year allows collectors to connect with a very real and human past, where currency was not just a store of value, but a part of daily survival and community interaction. Next up in the 1940 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny. This small copper coin may look ordinary at first glance, but it carries a powerful legacy, a connection to American heritage, and a story that every coin collector dreams to explore. Imagine holding a piece of history in your hand that has traveled through decades of change, wars, economic shifts, and generations of collectors. In this video script, we will uncover everything about this penny, from its origin, design, minting details, and historical importance to its modern-day value in the collector's market. Stay with us, because what looks like just 1 cent could actually hold far more meaning than its face value suggests. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design was groundbreaking because it was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure rather than symbolic imagery. By 1940, the coin had already been in circulation for over 30 years, making it one of the most recognized coins in American pockets. The wheat penny gets its name from the 2 wheat stalks engraved on the reverse side, symbolizing prosperity, growth, and national strength. This design remained in use until 1958, making the 1940 version a valuable piece from the early middle period of the series. In 1940, the United States was standing at the edge of global transformation, with World War II already unfolding in Europe. Although America had not yet entered the war, the economy and industry were already preparing for major changes. The U.S. Mint produced massive quantities of pennies that year to meet everyday circulation needs. Coins were struck at 3 main mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. Each mint produced millions of coins, which means the 1940 wheat penny is generally not rare in circulated condition. However, the historical era it represents gives it a strong emotional and collectible appeal. The design of the 1940 wheat penny is both simple and elegant. On the front, you will see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head reads, "In God We Trust," while Liberty appears on the left side and the date 1940 on the right. A small mint mark, if present, appears below the date. On the reverse side, 2 wheat stalks curve along the edges, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with E pluribus unum. This design reflects unity, agricultural strength, and national pride during a time when America was still developing into a global power. When it comes to composition, the 1940 wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives it a distinct reddish-brown color when well preserved. Over time, many of these coins have darkened or developed a brown patina due to oxidation and circulation wear. Because billions of wheat pennies were minted over the years, condition plays a huge role in determining value. A heavily circulated penny may only be worth a few cents above face value, while a well-preserved uncirculated specimen can attract serious collectors. The difference between a worn coin and a mint-state coin can be dramatic in the numismatic war. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting wheat pennies is the possibility of finding rare errors or high-grade examples. Although the 1940 penny is not considered rare overall, certain error varieties, such as double die strikes, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, can significantly increase its value. Collectors actively search through old coin rolls hoping to discover these hidden treasures. Even a small minting flaw can turn an ordinary 1 cent coin into a highly sought-after collectible worth many times its face value. This is what keeps the excitement alive among coin hunters around the world. In today's collector market, the value of a 1940 wheat penny depends heavily on its condition and mint mark. Circulated coins typically range from a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, uncirculated coins in MS-65 or higher condition can reach significantly higher prices, sometimes tens of dollars or more depending on appeal and rarity. Coins from the San Francisco Mint often carry slightly higher premiums in better grades. While it may not be a $1,000,000 coin, its historical charm and accessibility make it a favorite starter coin for new collectors entering the world of numismatics. Collectors also value the 1940 wheat penny because it represents an important era in American history just before the United States entered World War II. Holding this coin is like holding a small piece of the past, a reminder of a simpler time when everyday transactions were done in cash and pennies had real purchasing power. Many collectors enjoy building complete wheat penny sets, and the 1940 issue is a key part of that journey. It bridges the early 20th century designs with the wartime economy that followed, making it historically significant beyond its monetary value. The 1940 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny is a coin worth appreciating. It may not make you rich overnight, but it offers something even more valuable: history, artistry, and a connection to a past generation. Every scratch, every mark, and every detail tells a story of time. If you ever come across one in your change, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small copper window into America's past. Thanks for watching this journey through history, and don't forget to keep exploring the hidden treasures in your pocket change that the 1940 Wheat Penny among collectors continues even today because it represents a perfect balance between affordability and historical value. Unlike extremely rare coins that are difficult to find or expensive to purchase, this penny is still widely available in coin collections, old jars, and estate finds. This accessibility makes it especially attractive for beginners who want to start building a Lincoln cent collection without spending large amounts of money. At the same time, advanced collectors often search for high-grade examples, which creates a steady market demand. The coin's long-standing popularity ensures that it remains a constant topic in numismatic communities, auctions, and online marketplaces. The 1940 Wheat Penny is the grading system used by professional coin grading services. Coins are evaluated based on their condition, ranging from poor P1 all the way to mint state, MS70. A 1940 penny that has been well preserved with sharp details, original luster, and minimal contact marks can receive a high grade, significantly increasing its market value. Even small differences in condition can create large price gaps. For example, a lightly worn coin might be worth only a few cents, while a sharply struck uncirculated version can be worth many times more. This grading system adds excitement and precision to coin collecting. The historical significance of the 1940 Wheat Penny also lies in the fact that it was produced during a time of great uncertainty in the world. As nations were preparing for war, everyday life in America was still functioning with traditional currency systems, and the penny played a crucial role in daily trade. People used these coins to buy groceries, newspapers, and basic goods, meaning that each coin truly passed through thousands of hands. This human connection gives the coin a deeper emotional value beyond its metal composition. It becomes not just a collectible item, but a witness to real-life history and everyday American life during a critical era. Collectors also pay close attention to the mint marks on the 1940 Wheat Penny because they can slightly influence desirability. Coins minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while Denver coins show a small D, and San Francisco coins feature an S. While all three types are relatively common, certain mint locations may produce coins with better strike quality or lower survival rates in higher grades. This creates subtle differences in collector interest. Some enthusiasts even try to assemble complete sets from all three mints for the year 1940, making the hunt more engaging and rewarding. The 1940 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny remains a timeless piece of American numismatic history. It may not be the rarest coin in existence, but its charm, historical background, and collectability make it a must-have for anyone interested in coins. Whether you find it in old family collections or purchase it from a dealer, it always carries a sense of discovery. This humble 1-cent coin reminds us that even the smallest objects can hold great stories from the past. For collectors, historians, and curious minds alike, the 1940 Wheat Penny continues to shine as a symbol of history preserved in copper. Next up in the 1951 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it may look like just another small copper cent, but in reality, this coin carries decades of history, wartime economic aftermath, and collector interest that continues even today. Minted in Denver, the D mint mark on this penny represents a period when the United States was transitioning through post-World War II recovery, and coin production was at a very high level to meet the demands of everyday commerce. Yet despite its high mintage, this coin has become a subject of curiosity for collectors who search for value not only in rarity, but also in condition, history, and demand. The 1951 D Wheat Penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This series is beloved by collectors because it was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure, President Abraham Lincoln. On the obverse, we see Lincoln's dignified portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse features the iconic wheat ears design, symbolizing prosperity and national growth. The 1951 D version continues this tradition, and while it may not be the rarest date in the series, it still represents an important era in U.S. coinage when pennies were heavily circulated and used daily by millions of Americans. When we talk about the 1951 D penny specifically, we must understand its production numbers. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins, making it a very common date in circulated condition. Because of this high mintage, most examples found today are not extremely valuable. However, what makes this coin interesting is that despite its common nature, collectors still actively seek it in high grades, especially in uncirculated or mint state condition. Coins that have retained their original luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks can become significantly more valuable than their heavily worn counterparts. Condition is everything when it comes to the value of the 1951 D Wheat Penny. A heavily circulated coin, one that has passed through countless hands and carried the weight of everyday transactions, might only be worth a few cents above face value. However, once you move into higher grades such as MS63, MS65, or even MS67 red condition, the value can increase dramatically. The original red copper color, known as RD among collectors, is especially important. A bright red 1951 D penny with strong eye appeal can attract serious collectors and even competitive bidding in coin markets. Another important factor that influences the value of this coin is mint errors. While most 1951 D pennies are standard strikes, there are occasional error coins that slip through the minting process. These can include double die strikes, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, or die cracks. Such errors make a coin unique and significantly more desirable to collectors. A simple penny with an unusual minting flaw can sometimes sell for many times its normal value, depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. Even though the 1951 D Wheat Penny is not considered a key date in the Lincoln Cent series, it still holds strong historical and emotional value. It represents a time in American history when the economy was growing, industrial production was expanding, and everyday life was becoming more stable after the hardships of war. Holding this coin today is like holding a small piece of that era, a reminder of how currency circulated through the hands of ordinary people during the mid-20th century. Collectors also pay close attention to the copper composition of this penny. Unlike modern pennies made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, the 1951 D Wheat Penny is composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives it a heavier feel and a richer, warmer color compared to modern cents. Over time, copper naturally tones, sometimes turning brown or developing attractive shades of red-brown, which can further influence collector interest depending on visual appeal and preservation. Market demand plays a huge role in determining the value of this coin today. While millions were minted, fewer have survived in pristine condition, and even fewer remain in full red uncirculated state. As more collectors enter the hobby, demand for high-grade wheat pennies continues to grow. This means that even common coins like the 1951 D can see price increases when they are well preserved or certified by professional grading services. Certification adds trust and authenticity, making it easier for buyers and sellers to agree on value. The 1951 D Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny may not be the rarest coin in American history, but it holds a unique place in the world of numismatics. It combines historical significance, collectible appeal, and the potential for surprising value depending on condition and errors. Whether you are a beginner collector or a seasoned numismatist, this coin serves as a reminder that even the most common-looking objects can carry hidden stories and unexpected worth. Every detail, from its mint mark to its color and condition, tells a story of time, economy, and craftsmanship that continues to fascinate collectors around the world. The 1951 D. Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny is a fascinating piece of American coinage history that reflects the economic and industrial strength of the United States in the early 1950s. Struck at the Denver Mint, this small copper coin carries the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the classic wheat ears design on the back, symbolizing prosperity and national growth. Although it may appear ordinary at first glance, this penny represents an important era when coins were still made primarily for heavy everyday circulation, passing through millions of hands during a time when America was expanding rapidly after World War II. Its D mint mark is a key detail that identifies its Denver origin, and even though it is not considered rare, it remains an essential part of the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series that collectors admire. The 1951 D penny, we discover that it was minted in extremely large numbers, making it a common coin in circulated condition today. Because of this high mintage, most examples found in pocket change or old collections are not highly valuable in lower grades. However, the true importance of this coin lies in its survival rate in higher conditions. Many of these pennies were heavily used in daily transactions, meaning that finding one in sharp detail with original mint luster is becoming increasingly difficult over time. This shift from common circulation coin to collectible piece is what makes the 1951 D Wheat penny interesting to numismatists, especially those who specialize in building high-grade Lincoln cent collections. Condition plays the most powerful role in determining the value of this coin. A heavily worn 1951 D penny might only be worth a small amount above face value, but as the condition improves, its value can increase significantly. Coins graded in mint state, especially those with full red coloration, are highly desirable among collectors. The bright red copper surface indicates that the coin has been well preserved and not exposed to long-term oxidation or handling. Professional grading services often assign higher values to coins that maintain strong details in Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse, making condition the single most important factor in its market price. Another exciting aspect of the 1951 D Wheat penny is the possibility of mint errors, which can dramatically increase its collector appeal. While most of these coins were struck normally, some rare examples show interesting mistakes such as double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These imperfections occurred during the minting process and were not meant to be released, but they escaped quality control and entered circulation. Today, such error coins are highly sought after because they are unique and cannot be exactly replicated. Depending on the type and visibility of the error, a 1951 D penny with a mint mistake can be worth many times more than a regular example. The 1951 D Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny is much more than just a small piece of copper currency. It is a historical artifact that connects us to a significant period in American history. While it may not be the rarest coin in the Lincoln series, it still holds strong collector interest due to its design, historical context, and potential for high-grade preservation or mint errors. For collectors and enthusiasts, this coin serves as a reminder that value in numismatics is not always determined by rarity alone, but also by condition, story, and demand. Every 1951 D penny carries with it a silent journey through time, making it a meaningful addition to any collection.